We're going to be going over the Thursday NBA Draftkings and Fanduel slate for March 9th. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your March 9th slate on Draftkings and Fanduel, bringing you the top plays and values of the day. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. If you want more winning bets, we're going to get ready for the NFL draft. Mock drafts are coming out as well. The futures for the NBA Finals is coming out as well for the Patreon. So get locked in. All those links will be provided down below. Before we get into the position by position breakdown, we're going to start off with the injury report. A lot is going on today for the Thursday slate, even though it's only 6 games. So the first team that's really being decimated by injuries is going to be the Brooklyn Nets. All right, so there's going to be no Spencer Dinwiddie, no Nick Claxton, no Cam Johnson, no Ben Simmons. Royce O'Neal is out, so pretty much majority of the starters are going to be out. Not to mention on the Detroit Pistons, Bogdanovich, and on the Houston Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr. He's going to be out. The Q tags that are going to be relevant will be Jalen Brunson. He might be out again. And Jordan Clarkson for the Utah Jazz. He might be out for a second game in a row. Let's get into the point guards. Starting off with the point guard position, the first guy we're going to go towards is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Golden State Warriors, and we're going to go towards Tyus Jones. Okay, Tyus Jones has been filling in very well with Ja Morant out. He had 60 fantasy points against the Clippers, struggled against the Lakers, but this is a matchup here against the Golden State Warriors that is very profitable for him. If we're looking at some of their metrics defensively, they're 25th, in three-point percentage at 37%. They're 26th in field goal percentage at 45.7%, and they're 25th in steals at 2.15. So that's going to be some positive notes there for Tyus Jones. He hopefully can knock down that three like he did against the Clippers, where he was 5 of 7 for 71% three-point percentage. So we should definitely lean towards him in that scoring department at the 3-point and points range. And he already averages 1.0 steals a game, and the Golden State Warriors are giving up 2.15, so that's a positive note as well for him at his price at $6,700. The next player we're going to look towards will be Drew Holiday here, going up against the Brooklyn Nets. The only concern here is that this game could get out of hand very quickly with all the guys that are out for the Brooklyn Nets. But if they seem to get scrappy, or if they, Bucks are not shy of really running up that score, and if, hey, it could be Drew Holiday just getting all of the fantasy points there, going up against the Brooklyn Nets. In the three previous matchups, he averages 30.4 fantasy points per game. So we're going to need a little bit more scoring from him, but it is a very good matchup. Just worry about that blow up spot. But $8,100, still a solid price point for Drew Holiday, where he was almost near $9,000 in salary. Let's go on to the shooting guards. At the shooting guard position, we're going to start off with the New York Knicks, Emmanuel Quickly here. This one is more preferably leaning on the in and out of Jalen Brunson here. All right, so Quigley's at a very nice price of $6,600. We saw one of the previous times where Jalen Brunson was out. He had 72 fantasy points against Boston, struggled mightily against the Charlotte Hornets. That was a shock to see there. So a lot of people are probably going to shy away from him, but he is now correctly priced at $6,600. That's why I think we get a value here on him if Jalen Brunson is out. But the Sacramento Kings struggle against opposing shooting guards, 29th in points, allowing 32.53 points per game, 28th at field goal made at 11.3 field goals made to opposing shooting guards, 28th in field goal percentage at 45.7, 30th in 3 points made at 4.75, and 25th in steals and 25th in assists. All right, so that's going to be a key component there for Emmanuel Quickly. High energy, instant offense. He can put up points in bunches, and like I said, they struggle in steals and assists. He's already averaging almost a steal a game. He had 4 against Boston, so some high upside here for someone that's well below $7,000 in salary. Love Emmanuel quickly. And then at the shooting guard position as well, we're going to go with Ben Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers here. I like someone else a little bit more, but if you want to save a little bit of salary and a profitable spot here against Indiana, Ben Mathurin is pretty much the 6th man coming off the bench, but he provides upside here at 5,100. Hopefully we get some similar type of outing that he gets against Chicago or Orlando. This is a spot where this is a poor defense here, and Ben Mathurin can definitely take advantage of that, especially if he gets that 3-point going down, because that's really a big weak spot for the Houston Rockets. Okay, now on to the small forwards, and this play here is mainly because a lot of the guys are going to be out. So Mikal Bridges has been red hot as of late. Now going up against the Milwaukee Bucks, he's going to be the main guy that's going to have to keep this game close with no Dinwiddie, no Claxton, no Cam Johnson there. So it's all on Mikal Bridges, and he has done fine as of late. The last 4 out of the last 5 games, he has over 30 real points. So we've seen some big performances: 61 against Boston, 49 against Charlotte, 45 against Houston, and 45 against Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. So like his price is 8,500. Majority of the shots are going to be taken by him, so love him at his price. And the other small forward we're going to look towards, and this one's more of a lock here, and Buddy Hield. Okay, I told you about Klay Thompson against Houston, so we got to go towards the 3-point shooters, and that's going to be Buddy Hield here. 29th in points allowed opposing small forwards going up against the Houston Rockets at 25 real points a game. 29th in field goals made at 9.3 field goals made per game. 30th in rebounds, allowing 10.3 rebounds a game, and 26th in assists, allowing 4.68 assists a game. So Buddy Hield is in a prime spot to go off, knock down the threes. This is where the Houston Rockets struggle at, and if he's allowed to tap on to the rebounds and to the assists, we can have a big game from him, similar to what he did against the Spurs. If you look a little bit previously, what he did against the Chicago Bulls and even Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. So at 6,200, Buddy Hield is someone that's going to be a little bit lower owned, come under the radar. I expect him to have a big blowout game at 6,200. Let's move on to the power forwards. Now at the power forward position, the main guy we're going to lock in on will be P.J. Washington of the Charlotte Hornets here. Mark Williams was a downer in our previous video. The main guy that's a big down there for the Charlotte Hornets that's going to do work against Detroit, which is a very good matchup for him, is going to be P.J. Washington. 30 fantasy points against the New York Knicks there. Almost got you a double-double. That's what we're looking towards him in this matchup against the Detroit Pistons here. They're 28th in points allowed at 21.70. 29th in field goals made, allowing 8.48. 25th in rebounds, allowing 10.88, and they are 30th in assists, allowing 3.70. So PJ Washington, under $7,000 in salary, has upside for a double-double. We've seen some big performances out of him against Minnesota, 36 fantasy points, the Spurs, 46, and Atlanta at 39.25. At this price, if we get a 40, this is going to really boost us up and pay up so we can be able to pay up at some other spots there. PJ Washington is a love. We're going to stay in this game for another power forward here that we're going to play, and that will be Marvin Bagley here on the other side for the Detroit Pistons here, and he has been stepping up as of late. $6,800 in salary, and he's been performing very well, like he's supposed to. Like he was a highly touted draft pick here. Marvin Bagley, 48 fantasy points against Cleveland, 38 against Charlotte in a previous matchup. So we get him yet again, but now they are correctly pricing him at 6,800, and I'm not shying away from this position here. Him, and we're going to talk about James Wiseman very soon. Both of those guys are going to be able to produce here in this spot where they are thin at that bigs situation here. So starting Marvin Bagley here is going to be a plus matchup here yet again. Hopefully he can recreate that performance like he did against Charlotte a couple weeks ago. Now on to the centers, and the center we're going to really lock in will be Domantas Sabonis of the New York Knicks. One of the weaknesses of the New York Knicks, even though they've been playing solidly as of late, is allowing fantasy points to opposing bigs, and that's going to be someone they're going to have to deal with in Domantas Sabonis. He is a dog down low, and the Knicks are 28th in points, 21st in points, allowing 16.33, 28th in rebounds, allowing 12.17, 23rd in blocks, allowing 1.86, and 28th in free throw attempts at 4.87. So if they get Domantas Sabonis down in the block, getting rebounds, getting second chance putbacks, getting him to the line, that's going to bode well for him, for someone that's usually over $10,000 in salary. Now he is under that price. Love him there. Let's move on to the value plays and the lock of the night. On Fanduel, the value plays we're going to key in on, that's going to be mainly focusing on the Brooklyn Nets, okay? A lot of these guys are out, so some of these backups are going to be thrusted in a situation where they're going to get high usage here. The first one we're going to talk about is Edmund Sumner here for the Brooklyn Nets, already averaging around 13 fantasy points per game, and he's correctly priced at $3,800. This is a steal if he's going to get 30-plus minutes. He has some upside to maybe get double-digit points, get a handful of assists, hopefully a handful of rebounds there, and you're looking at someone with some upside here at this price at $3,800. So I like Edmund Sumner. The next value play will be Josh Hart at $5,900 in salary. He's not going to be mainly affected with the Jalen Brunson in or out, but if it helps, if Jalen Brunson is out, he's been a very good acquisition for the New York Knicks, providing solid minutes, good defense, knocking down the occasional shot here. He has some upside where he had a big blow-up game against Boston, 30 fantasy points, 37 against Brooklyn, and 36 against Atlanta. So we have some good outcomes from Josh Hart in a plus matchup against the Sacramento Kings, who struggle against wings, and especially wings that can knock down threes. Hart can do that and provide solid defense there as well, chipping in the rebound department as well. He's been very consistent, 8, 8, 7, 4, 5, and 5 in the past couple games. So love Josh Hart here, and what should be an up and down type of environment going up against the Sacramento Kings. All right, Dylan Brooks going up against the Golden State Warriors is someone we're going to look at. That's going to be a value play at $5,000 in salary. He's been very mediocre this season, but with no John Morant, he's going to have to step up and help Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones here in this offense. All right, he can be either the second or third scorer on this team. You already know how he does very well on defense, but he is someone that can be a very fluid jump shooter and a scorer for this team. So I'm expecting something a little bit different from him, and hopefully he can blow up at this spot at $5,000 in salary and give us more than his current average of 23.6, in which is a very good matchup for him going up against the Golden State Warriors with no Andrew Wiggins. He's not going to have to deal with him as well. All right. Going back to the Brooklyn Nets at the center position will be Nerlens Noel. With no Nick Claxton, he is going to be the starting center for this team, and I expect him to get over 25 minutes here. Hopefully we have a good blow-up spot for him between him and Sharp. They're going to be splitting minutes at that big spot there, and they just newly acquired him, so that's why he only had 17 minutes in that first game against Houston. I expect a bump up there. It's more of a risky play. Definitely look towards the starting five here. If he is going to be in that starting five, definitely go towards him and lock him in at $3,800 in salary. because he's going to get a ton of minutes. And now the lock of the night, the thumbnail here, Lauri Markkanen could just be the #1 star on the court here, going up against Orlando, which is a very favorable matchup for him. In a previous matchup, he went off for around 50 fantasy points. So I love him there, especially with no Jordan Clarkson. They're going to have to rely upon the scoring of Lauri Markkanen. In his previous game against Dallas, 33 real points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals across the board. A very good play here. And with no Jordan Clarkson, more usage for Lauri Markkanen. So like him at his current price, he's going to be the lock of the night. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetJetsD. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right. Peace out.